Good morning, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Um, it's day number 9 of my 14 days to $1,000. And things have changed. The 14 days was because I was using a decluttering guide that cost $37 and I was selling it. I was trying to sell it here on my TikTok shop. I was creating a new digital product and I had so many issues uploading it. I've been trying to learn how to upload digital products now that my shop is linked because I'm a seller. And so I said, you know what, I'm gonna challenge myself. I'm gonna see if I can make $1,000. Because the mindset came about, well, the idea came about for doing this challenge because I thought to myself, okay, how is it that you're going to make $120,000 a year or even $120,000 a month if and make it on your own as a digital nomad, as a disability and an inclusion specialist? This means you are going and doing this for you. How are you going to do this on your own if you have not even raised $1,000 on your own? How? Do you know the amount of challenges you're going to have? Have you pushed through these challenges? Are you dealing with these challenges? Because to make $1,000 has a different level of challenge compared to making $120,000. And I said to myself, okay, let's start here. So I was thinking about it and I said, you know what? Let me just do it. Let me just start with $1,000. And so I challenged myself to 14 days because I had just come off of another 14-day challenge that was more personal to me and more intimate to me in terms of how I think and how I feel. And that has literally transformed my life. So I said, okay, we're gonna take these challenges step by step. And I noticed, now this is not something that this just came to me. And I noticed back in, when was it? Back in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023, I did a lot of challenges to level myself up. And I'm telling you, it worked out beautifully. It worked out beautifully. That's a loaded question. If you're really asking me that question, that's a very loaded question. But so anyway, and I thought to myself, okay, it's time to move forward. It's time to move forward. So I decided that I was going to go into another, after those that 14 days. I decided I was going to go into this 14 days where I was going to challenge myself to $1,000, $500 to $1,000. I had all kinds of hiccups because the first week is gone. So right now I'm giving you an overview of the first week. And during the first week, I came on here live faithfully. And I never posted anything because I was supposed to be promoting the product. I didn't upload, I didn't attempt to upload the first 3 days. So now I'm seeing, okay, you're not consistent. And that's been my challenge, right? Anyway, I thought to myself, keep going, just keep going. And at one point, I realized that uploading the product to my shop, I would have had to go through my, I have to have a laptop. So opened my laptop and I started to move things around. I opened it up. I got into my seller account, my seller center, and I started to do the work. I started to process. I started to to produce the product. I tried now to upload it, and I uploaded it. And after I uploaded it while I was in the live, right? And I was like, oh, what's going on? I uploaded it, it went up, and I published it. And when I went on to my shop while I was on here, because I can get into the shop while I'm on, it said that it was sold out. I was like, sold out? What do you mean it's sold out? Ain't nobody bought it. I ain't got no money. Ah, I don't understand how something can be sold out and I don't have no money. I'd be like, TikTok, make it make sense. And so I said to myself, okay, what is really going on? What is the problem? What is the problem? Why is it that I can't? I produced the whole product. I produced it. I literally went on Canva and I set it up. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for this follow, Chuck. Thank you very much. I literally did it while I was on the live. I opened my laptop while I was on the live. I created it while I was on the live, downloaded it and uploaded it to my TikTok shop while I was on the live. I said to myself, well, maybe I need to go back and look at it and see what I did wrong, because I had to have done something wrong, because I haven't sold not even one. So I said all of that to say this. We have to understand that business has its ups and downs and you have to be consistent, but your heart has to be in it. You have to push yourself. There's so many hiccups that come along the way. And since I had that hiccup, I haven't gone to do another product. I haven't uploaded another product. And every step and every journey towards any kind of money, especially if you're doing it by yourself and if you're doing it, where you are dependent upon you, where it's a thing that you're doing, and like I am doing this TikTok shop. I'm a TikTok seller. So that means I have to have my own products. That means I create my own products. That means I have to show up for me. I have to show up for my shop, which is a drop of a dime. I have to show up for my shop. I'm the owner of my shop. I have a digital online store. And I have to produce all the products for my online store. No one else is going to do it for me. Now, I have products. I can sell a lot of books. I could sell a lot of journals. And that's what I intend to do. Because this was a journal. It was, what I uploaded was, it's called, what's that password called again? Is what it was. Hey, Doc. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. So, I had to ask, I am the one that has to produce everything. So I have to show up for me. I have to show up for my store. And one of the things I also learned last week was that selling a decluttering guide was not something I was passionate about. I can give you tips on decluttering. I could teach you how to declutter. But to sell a journal and it be transformational, informative, and solves your problems, it didn't flow. It didn't flow. Hey, Michael, it didn't flow. I realized that many of the things I'm trying to do is just because I want to make money. And I'm chasing the money. But the things I really love to do, I will do whether there's money or not. And so with that revelation, I said to myself, okay, Well, okay, if that is the case, what are you passionate about? And I made a list and I said so last week. So, last week, this is a review from last week. So, last week, I realized that there were a lot of things that I was passionate about. And there were a lot of things that I could do. I had a lot of skills. Not a lot of skills. Not a whole lot, but key skills that I'm really good at. And one of those was teaching. I'm good at speaking. I'm good at teaching. And the skills I had was advocacy, leadership skills. Hold on, let me go find it because I wrote it down. I'm not sure which journal I put it in. And of course, I have all my journals where I write everything. And I have come to realize that not everything that we see people do on these social media streets is for us. One of my other goals was to increase my following. My following is over 400 now. And I was supposed to celebrate that. And say thank you to all of my followers. And handpick all of my followers. And anyone who has come to join, who has joined my team. So let me I need to find it because I see I have notes, but I'm trying to figure out exactly where I put it because I did a all right. All right, I can't seem to find it. Oh, here it is. I did it on day 8, right? I'm a disability advocate and inclusion specialist. Okay. Right? And things I'm good at: public speaking, teaching, and just speaking in general. And I said, well, how does that equate? How are you able to transfer that onto the digital platform? And I still haven't found an answer. But I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to still promote my guide. I'm going to still promote my journal because I'm actually using it. I had this on my Printify shop before I linked the shop to TikTok. Right? And so it was easy. That's the only one, I think. As you can see, I have a little handbag, either at the bottom of the screen on left or the right. I'm not sure how it shows up on your end, but the handbag, I brought the price down because it was $14.80 and I brought it down, right? I haven't made one sale. No one has bought it. People have promised. People have promised to buy it, but no one has done it. Dr. Deanne, you have a clone in my shop. You have a clone on my live. Yeah, someone cloned your account. I don't know if you see them, but it's your picture on a different name. Girl, I tell you, these clones be on here. These clones. You saw it? I was like, wait, hold on. How are you on here? I'm like, wow. and this is a problem too, because there are a lot of people who clone other accounts, and I could tell it's a clone because when you go into the account of the clone, they have like 40 something followers, 10 followers, 100 and something followers, when the authentic account has thousands of followers. And I'm just like, really? 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 Yeah, these people are very bold. They're very, very bold. They don't care what they do, nor how they do it. I've come across many a clones on these on TikTok, and I usually like to wait. I try to follow them while I'm on their live, right? I try to follow them while they're on their live. We're good. Well, I'm good because it's me alone. Okay, yeah, go check it. Go check it because they're out. Type in the name. Oh, you're new here. Welcome. Welcome. New to TikTok? Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Okay, so you're new to me, not to TikTok. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for joining my live. Um, and thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome, Victoria. Hanta. Yes, yes, yes. We like to acknowledge our newbies over here. I was so I was just I was just saying to one of my followers that she has a clone in my shop in my live, and I drew it to her attention. Oh, you do lives as well. Hey. Yeah, I was just telling her that she's been cloned because I'm looking at it going, but wait, she's been on here. She's on here. She's been on here. Who's this? And I called her. I said, Doc, there, you got a clone in here. Yes, I was just saying to her that there's a lot of clones in these digital spaces, especially on here and places like Instagram. There's a lot of people who copy accounts for people who have huge followings, and try to get followers. But I've learned that on here you have to be careful. You can't just go liking every single person. I don't like every single person that comes on my live. I also don't follow back every single person who tunes into my live, right? Because not everybody is real. You have a lot of clones out here. A lot of clones and a lot of perverts. I'm not going to hold any water in my mouth to say so. There's a lot of perverts on here. I've blocked quite a few of them, right? And some of them ought to be ashamed of themselves, but there are people out here who do that. They don't have anything else better to do. Yeah, right. See? I had a serious block party, but you see, the thing is, because I know that it's going to happen, because I've seen it happen to me on other platforms, I've learned the art of ignoring. As soon as I see that there's like a multiple question, and when you read the question, it's a dirty question, or it's some kind of outlandish question, or the name that they have is something ridiculous and something very nasty and perverted. Listen, deuces, I'm out, be gone, right? I don't play. I don't play. So anyway, I'm gonna go back to where I was. So I had to ask myself concerning my journey, concerning this journey, this 14-day challenge, what exactly is it that I want to talk about? How can I merge who I am as a disability advocate and inclusion specialist with my skill of speaking and leadership and teaching, and incorporate that into my online space? because I have to be able to use that to become a digital nomad. Leaving the work world and becoming a digital nomad, the skills I have to mesh. They have to come together. They have to fuse. Hey, menopause made for more. It's been a minute. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Um, so I had to really think about it, and most of what I've come up with will take me off of social media. Because a lot of this work is in person. I have to be around people, I have to be in presence of people, and I have to do it consistently. I have to do it all the time. But then that leads to other challenges, because being around other people means that I have to also spend money to go, spend money to be in the present, spend money to attend functions, spend money to, if I haven't made any, right? So while I was processing, I said, okay, I have to be able to do something online. So one of the things that came to mind was the models associated with disability. And there were several models. There's the charity model, there's the medical model, there's the legal model. Now there were a few other models that are available, but those aren't particularly known globally or in a big way. The CBR and the career advocate model. Now the career advocate model I personally frown upon, but there are people out there who use academia and who use the movement for persons with disabilities for their career gain. I just don't have the stomach for it. People will say, oh, well, it's okay, people are free to do what they want. Yeah, you're right, but that don't mean I have to accept it, because what they're looking for is a more professional, able-bodied approach, or ableism type of approach to disability. Therefore, now this is my perspective. Like I said, I have a problem with it, so I'm sharing the problem I have with it. Now, I personally don't think that if you are coming with your professional, educational, academia background and you don't like our approach, it's fine to say so and step away, but don't use us. Don't put up with it and use us and level yourself up while riding on our coattail, because that's not okay. That's not okay. It's not okay. And that's what happened. That's what I have seen. The other thing I came across and thought about was attitudinal barriers. There are a lot of attitudinal barriers. And these attitudinal barriers hinder the production or the progression, not production, the progression of things that could be beneficial for persons with disabilities. There are a lot of projects and programs out there that are available for persons with disabilities. And this morning, on top of those ideas and those coming like over the weekend, this morning, I realized that I could take it from an angle of housing and employment for persons with disabilities, especially here in the US, since here is where I reside. There are many places that folks can go to that apparently allows for low income housing. I was a supervisor. My last position was a supervisor for the Department of Community Affairs, and they had a program called the Rental Assistance Program after the pandemic, where they gave assistance to persons who needed it that were impacted by COVID. Whoops. Right. Anyway, and now I did that because back then it was you couldn't do videos and call it by name. You couldn't do videos and call it by name. Anyway, that's changed now. So anyway, and there were a lot of people who were struggling in housing, and these were different types of people, different individuals with different physical ailments and mobility ailments and health ailments, right? But at the same time, they were able to take care of themselves. But for institutions, for individuals who may not have that privilege, I would have to research deeply what are the options for persons and families with disabilities to be able to live independently, and if that's even a possibility, and what is available. Excuse me. And what is available for this area. That's another opportunity right there. I also thought about doing some kind of community work with the organizations that I'm currently a part of. I'm an active member of the NAACP, and I am going to be reaching out to the secretary of the branch that I'm a part of to ask them if I could be on the agenda for the next meeting to talk about it. Because I want to be able to have a location, invite people to come out, and I don't know, and talk about the housing challenges that they may be having. Find out what their needs are. Because here in the US, there's the medical model, the legal model, the charity model are the three models that are used in conjunction with each other. And what I am trying to get my Caribbean people to understand is that we have to use the models together. These models need to be used cohesively. They need to blend and be cohesive with each other. I'm not sure that I can do a digital product around that. I'm not sure how I can use that to create a digital book that can be sold. Maybe it can be a resource book. Maybe it can be I don't know. So help me out. Give me a comment. Tell me what you think I should do with all of my knowledge, because I have things that I could talk about, but how do I put it into a book? I mean, I do have a lot of knowledge, and I do have books that I do have digital master resale rights for these digital ebooks that I could rename. I could do a digital ebook and rename it to match whatever I have in my book. A podcast. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. I could do a podcast with my decluttering guide. That's a good idea too. Tap on the screen, people. Tap on the screen. Tap, 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 tap. Uh, Tap on the screen. Get me liking my own stuff. Yay! I could do it on YouTube though, because here on TikTok, there are certain things that you can't say on YouTube. Well, I can't go live yet. I would have to record it and then upload it to my YouTube channel. Well, when I did my first journal guide, that's a really good idea. I could have a podcast where I can teach everything that I do and use that as a training tool and send people and oh yeah, and I could create a a playlist and name the playlist and charge them like it's like how on here I'm trying to figure out how to create a playlist in my subscription. Like I can create a playlist and send them to my YouTube channel and let them search my playlist for the decluttering guide and all the videos, all the ton of videos that I probably have on there that teach them about it. The slew of playlists that I have. Training playlist. All right. So yes. Yes, and this is this the real Dr. Roberts? Because this name this name is not spelled like the other one. If this is another clone, I'm gonna block you. 'Cause there's too many fraudulent people on here that be coming in. Okay. Because I don't know if you noticed, but I wasn't saying nothing because I'm like, there's another clone. Because I'm just like, uh. Yeah. Do you have a podcast? That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. I think that's a really, really good idea. But, all right. So I'm gonna be transparent right about now, right? Not a problem. Not a problem. You're welcome. Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. I'm gonna be transparent right now. I don't have any income coming in. I haven't had any income since November of last year. Is it November? December? No, November. And it really has been a big problem, especially for me. So trying to sell a product and make money in 14 days is because I don't have income. And not having income has made it very difficult for me to be able to do a lot of the normal things that I do. Everybody's like, oh, well, you have something saved. I had something saved. That savings is gone. I don't do credit cards. When I say do credit cards, I have credit card bills. Oh, speaking of credit card, I gotta go. Yeah. One of these credit card companies summons me to court. Could you imagine? A debt collector who has already paid off the debt summons me to court. And if I didn't go to court at the time when I was summoned, I would have I would have gotten myself arrested. Could you imagine? For debt? I was not about to ruin my whole life on a debt charge? Debt? So yeah, I had to go honor the summons, and they sent me a letter in the mail telling me I have to come to court next month. So that's what just came to mind as I'm talking about this. I've often seemed to lose my income at a time when I'm succeeding, when my credit score is up, my savings is up, my the things I'm doing in my life is on the up and up. When the money is flowing so that I could have consistency and build my income and build my femininity and build my confidence and feel safe making decisions and financial decisions because I know that I have a steady income coming. And then something happens and it just mucks it up and the rug gets pulled from under me and I fall into depression. That's what happened with the job with the DCA. I messed it up, completely messed it up. I've never been able to get back with the state after that. And so I said, okay, that was a great opportunity. You missed it. You messed it up. And now I am at a point where I'm just like, okay, so now what? Because I've moved since I lost that job. I started with my county, the election and registration, and they're part time, but they're very selective about who they want on their team. They're very selective about who they are, who they talk to, who they select, who they, just a lot of different little things. And I am at a point where I'm like, look, Lord, what is happening? So now doing this and feeling very confident that I could do it because it's something I'm aware of, all these challenges come. So it's almost like I'm bucking at some kind of block. like I'm like, Lord, what is happening? What is really going on? I don't want to stay at the bare minimum in my life. And as I push through, I see that there is a lot of blocking, even with these digital products not uploading the right way. And I'm just like, what is happening? Why is this even going? What is happening? Why? And so not having any earnings right now because it's the off season for election. It's a real challenge. And then when the on season comes, it's for like a month and a half the most. A month and a half the most. And I opened a business bank account, and that bank has multiple apps, an app for business, an app for personal accounts. I realized during the process that I had set up an account for personal instead of business because it was a business bank account, right? And so I'm just like, my Lord, really, really, really. So just being totally transparent, I'm in really just like a really crazy place right now. Because even though I can do my disability movement without pay and without money, the reality is doing it for free is not helping. It's not helping. It's not helping at all. So these are all a part of the challenges that I face in these 14 days. But it's taught me that there's something going on with me energetically why I keep capping and just capping. And one of the things I came to realize is that I'm not grateful enough. When I have what I have, I'm not grateful enough for it. And I'm like, really? And I really have to become more grateful. When you think you're somewhere and you think you're doing something and the spirit reveals to you, no sis, you're not being grateful enough. And I find that being totally transparent, I find that I'm not grateful because it's not panning out the way I want it. I'm just keeping it 100% with you. Because I'm just like, okay, well, I'm still struggling. I'm still living here. And the Spirit's like, listen, you got to make a decision. You have to make a decision. Look back at what you did in the past that brought you to this point. Look back at the things that allowed you to be able to get the job. What did you do when you got the job? What mindset did you have? Look back. Go back and look and pay attention to the things that you did that worked. Don't do anything new. Look at what worked and do that. And I was I spent a lot of time in prayer. I spent a lot of time in prayer. I spent a lot of time just praying and constantly meditating, constantly. Because I knew that I needed God in my life. I needed direction. I knew I needed to be confident about the direction I was taking. But one of the issues I faced was that my belief in what I wanted was not up. The Word of God always tells us that you have to test every spirit and know the things that God calls you to. Trust Him with all your heart, lean not onto your own understanding, and in all your ways acknowledge Him. All your ways acknowledge Him is what I have not been doing over time. And so not having a job and things like that, it's challenging. It's challenging, to be frank and honest, because I can't pay my rent. And I can't, and I can't put rent coming up. And I can't even go to church to meet with my team. And I hate having to be in this headspace. Just being 100, just keeping it a full 100 with you. I hate being in this space. A lot of people, but but when you I mean, I am being very transparent, and sometimes it's just, if I don't, I'm not gonna pretend. This is supposed to be a 14-day challenge. 14 days. And so much has changed in the 14 days. This is what, day number 10? Day number 9. Yesterday was day 8 of 14, and today is 9. Right? 9 of 14. And at day number 5, I had a change. Right, at day number 9. And I questioned myself so much. I questioned whether or not this makes sense to do. I questioned whether or not I should be doing this. 13 of 14 and 14 of 14. So I include today. I'm going to include today. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more days to see if I can make $1,000. 6 more days. I've got 6 more days to try and make $1,000, people. 6 more days. Six more days to make $1,000. I've got 6 more days. and I'm not even sure if what's going to happen in these next couple of days. But with that said, I was just being transparent, being open, and being honest. Even when I find like tips, little tips and tricks on how to cleanse the body from inside out, I can't go to the store and buy, hey Jermaine, hey, how are you? I can't go to the store and buy anything. I can't go to the store and buy anything because what? I don't have any money. When I go on some of these platforms where companies are offering grants to black-owned businesses, minority groups, women, I can't, I can't, I can't apply because my credit score is poor. Because even though they tell you that bad credit, no down payment, that's a lie. A lot of times that's not true. You have to have some kind of income. You have to have a credit score, and they ask for your personal guarantee, your personal information, and they use your credit score. So I'm just like, ugh. So anyway, I don't want to go down that road anymore because it's just gonna take me in a direction I don't really care to go to right now. So I'm going to leave that alone, and I'm going to move on to some of the tips that I've used, some of the tools and methods I've learned in the last maybe 6 years or so. Prior, since 2018, I've learned a couple of tips since, hey, hi, how are you? Yeah, I've learned a couple of tips. I'm going to talk about those tips now. Tools, methods that I've used in terms of time management. Now, as a sanguine, I was all over the place. I would have a plan. I would want to do, like, for example, let me give you an example. I can't think of one that I've done. Anyway, I'd have a plan to, grow my platform. Now I know in order to grow my platform, I have to post. I have to engage. I have to post. I have to engage. I have to comment. I have to be consistent. So for engagement, I learned about, you know what? I probably need to put some of this in the journal too. I learned about from Gary Vee something called the 10-10 method. You follow 10 people. So if you have people that you follow and they post something and a lot of followers, you go in, you like 10 of their commenters, right? And you move to the next person, you go in, you like 10. Now be careful with this, because like here on TikTok, on Instagram, they do the same thing. They will put you in IG jail because they're thinking that you're a bot, right? They're thinking that you're a bot. And so what it is, it's 10 likes, 10 comments, 10 creators. So you have to start with the creators. You have to go into 10 creators, like 10 of their posts, or like 10 of their commenters, and go into 10 into 10 new people, like their stuff, comment on their stuff, so you're engaging on their page. Now, Instagram is a little different to TikTok, but the engagement process is still the same. So, thank you for the gift. Thank you. So that was one rule I learned, and I used it. That's how I was able to grow my IG page. I actually do it here too. And that helps engagement. But what? Thank you for the heart, me. Thank you. What I do like, about what has happened for my page though, is that since I've become a business page, my numbers don't drop. My numbers don't drop. They stay. So the other thing is that I've learned is the 412s. Now, I don't know how many of you over there on Instagram, but I learned this from David Chance, who has a lot of online, who has David Chance, who's what you call it, Sleepers for Suckers. So it's the 412s, 12 months, 12 weeks, 12 days, 12 minutes. Right? Now I started using this, but it became very challenging for me. Because what he said was, you have 12 months in a year. And if you want to produce whatever you're trying to produce, like I'm trying to produce this 10,000 followers by my next birthday. That's my ultimate vision board goal. And become a digital nomad by my next birthday. That's a vision board goal. So I could set that out in 12 weeks, which I have already done. Because at the time when I was doing this, I didn't know about the 12-week year. That's another concept I'm going to go into right after this one. And so he says you break that 12 months plan into 12 weeks. So what can you do to become a digital nomad that you could break down into segments of 12 weeks? Or what task can you do and complete within 12 weeks? Can you grow your platform to 10,000 followers in 12 weeks? Therefore, setting the stage for the digital nomad plan by the next birthday? Of course. So then you have your 12 weeks. Then within those 12 weeks, you have 12 days. So you break down a particular task for 12 days. So what you can do is, the goal is 10,000. So you're saying, okay, I can do 10,000 followers in 12 weeks. Now you have 12 days. So what can you do in 12 days? You can do this, the 10 steps, right? You go in, you follow 10 people, you comment 10 people, and you engage with 10 people. Oh, really? 12K in 2 days? Okay. Nice. That's nice. That's real good. That is really good. And then you break down a task. So what can you do in that followers goal in 12 days? Well, you can build your following. You can do the 10-10-10 rule, right? You do the 10-10-10 rule, and so that you are growing your following. So every day you're breaking it down. So you're going in increments. Now, how long will that take you? How long will it take you to do that? So, because now in the 12 days, you're going to do it for 12 minutes, right? And let me tell you something, 12 minutes is a long time. You could do a lot in 12 minutes. If I put my alarm on and I talk, and I talk, you will be like, 12 minutes not up yet? 12 minutes is a long time. You could do a lot in 12 minutes. You can do a lot in 12 minutes. And consistent with that. So I was like, that's genius. But for me, it at first it was a problem. At first it was challenging. At first it was really hard. And then it started to work. So what I did was, though, I took out the 12 weeks. And I took out at the time, I'm talking about what I did at the time. I took out the 12 weeks. Oh yes, let me applaud you for hand clap for being able to 15 million. That's 12K in 2 days. Yes. You need to share those skills over here, sister. Share those skills, man. Share them. Shucks. Share them with us. And so at the time, I had I had eliminated the 12 weeks and the 12 days and just did the 12 minutes and stuck with the 12 months. And I didn't feel like it was working. I didn't feel like it was working. I didn't feel like it was working. And so I was like, okay, whatever. Then I found something else. Now, like I said earlier, this is the sanguine brain. What do we have? Shiny object syndrome. Shiny object syndrome. You're most welcome. You're most welcome. We have shiny object syndrome. So now I say, okay, this don't work. I'm moving on to something else. But I held on to the 12 minutes because there were a lot of tasks and a lot of plans that I was working on, and I used 12 minutes. So I put my 12 minutes timer on, and it was a go. Now I'm going to put a timer on. I'm actually going to put a timer on. And to let you see how long 12 minutes really is, right? Just for the sake of doing it, so that you can understand how long 12 minutes is. Okay. Now I know I have a clock in here somewhere. Hold on, people. You know what? Let me use my iPad. I'm going to put the timer on. 12 minutes. Now on my iPad, I have a lot of time set. And one of them I'm going to be talking about is the 1:30. Yeah, we're going to get to that in a minute. Okay. 12 minutes. It's ready, okay? So we gonna test the 12 minutes while I'm talking about these methods. So I talked about the 10-10 rule and the 4/12s. And as I told you, I kept the 12 minutes. In 2019, I came across the 12-week year. Right? I came across the 12-week year, and it was a new concept. So I did a lot of YouTube videos to really understand it. And I started listening to the audiobook because they have an audiobook on YouTube. And it's a whole entire mindset shift. It's literally an elimination of the 12-week year. Not the 12-week year. It's a whole elimination of the 12-month year mentality. And I was like, wow. So it was a lot for me. Let me just keep it 100%. It was a lot for me to take in, because I'm just like, what? Oh my gosh, another thing again? Ugh. another something to talk about again? I'm like, oh no. Anyway, you know what? Now that I'm sitting here talking about this, I really could put this in a book. I really can. I yeah, I had to make a note of it. Yeah, um so I was like, this is a lot. Oh my goodness, another thing again. So because the sanguine brain all over the place. Little shiny object. Oh, look. Oh, nice idea. Oh, I'm gonna go do that. Ooh, and ooh. That was me. That is me, right? Hey, Art of Letting Go. Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Right? So I'm all over the place, all over the place. Anyhow, I let it go and I continue to what I had, the 12 minutes. So if I go back to some of my journals, I'll see 12 minutes for certain tasks that I have 12 minutes written beside them because I used it. I really used it. And I tried to break things down into 12 days. I actually did keep the 12 days as well. And I was like, this is really amazing. So I'm doing my tasks, I'm getting things done. As a matter of fact, I found an example. One of the things that I did using that method was was I had a program. My first program I planned as a director for the disability ministries in my church. I used the 12 weeks, the 12 days and 12 minutes. And I was in a similar situation as I am right now, where I'm planning another event and the money is low and I'm not able to I was in the same exact boat where the money was funny and the income was almost nothing. And I was posting on social media and I was trying to do something on social media. You understand? So I was in the same boat. But I was able to execute the program. And just like last time, my taxes came just before the event. And I'm just like, it's literally, look at that. I'm talking about it now and just realized while I'm in this conversation that it's literally the same thing. Oh my God. Oh shit. Hold on. It's literally the same thing. I'm literally repeating the same thing from like 3 years ago. What is happening? Thank you for the likes. Hey, Elias and Mama. Wow. It's the same exact thing. It's just that this event is bigger because now I have more people coming and it's 3 weeks away. 3 weeks away and I don't have one car yet. Thank you for the likes. Okay. Anyway, let me not get distracted. So we're 6 minutes in because I have the timer on to show you how long 12 minutes is. And so I studied a little bit more about the 12-week year. And I said, I need to kind of just really put this to work. And so I dilly-dallied, I was back and forth with it. All of 2019, I didn't really use it much. I just used the 12 weeks, the 12 days, and the 12 minutes. And then in 2021 is where I really started to hunker down and use it. But before that, I came across this high performance planner. Now, this planner, I'm not going to talk much about it because I'm not able with violations. Right? I'm not. But it belongs to another creator, and Brandon Burchard. And I am faithful to using, well, let me not say that either. Right? So I used it. And anyway, so with with that planner and this journal, I was able to organize my stuff and my days. And it helped me to think differently about how I plan my day, how I plan my week, how I plan my year. It made me actually focus intentionally on what drives me. And I appreciated that. I actually love that, because the drive is built over time, right? The drive is built over time. And that's what happened with me. The 12 days broken down into 12 minutes. So I had tasks that I could do for 12 minutes. Okay, we're down to 3 minutes and 48 seconds, right? So the tasks are are broken down into little tasks. And so when I came into the 12-week year, I was already using this journal. I was already using this book and this planner. And it's only this year that I realized the 12-week year matched this journal, because this journal is a 3-month journal. So in order to get a full year, if you're using the regular 12 months, you have to buy 4 of them. I was like, oh, okay. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, oh, the 12-week year. And let me tell you something. It's been difficult to transition the thought process. It's difficult because when there's no money, I can't purchase these books. I can't even purchase my own books. And I was able to purchase these things because I had money coming in, so I was able to build on the knowledge. But as I realized, it's important for me to have a mindset of you're unpacking, you're unraveling your mindset. This is why these things are happening. And somehow there is a block energetically, there's a block spiritually, there's a block internally. Because you're progressing, there's a block. And so you have to keep capping this block, keep pushing this block, because the more you push against it and go over, when you get on the other side, you get on the other side of your breakthrough. Because I had a breakthrough in my first 12-week year, and this is why I'm still consistent with coming on here and going live, because I had a breakthrough. And last week, I had a revelation that some of the stuff that I'm thinking I could sell as digital products, I could teach it. I just had Dr. Rod suggest a podcast. And while I was on here, I said, okay, I could do a podcast and set up a playlist on my YouTube channel for decluttering. And if you want to learn how to declutter, there's a free videos that I teach you how to do that. I love to teach. I love to talk. And I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. And I have a tribe. I will find my tribe that are willing to listen to me talk, because what I'm saying makes sense to them and they appreciate it. Thank you for the likes. Thank you. Yay. Hand clap. And so I realized that this stuff was great. So I came forward a little too fast, but I just had to mention that the 12-week year and this plan is perfect. So when I started the 12-week year and really dove into it, there were a lot of people on YouTube that use it. I said, okay, well, I'm going to use it too. And I'm telling you this, despite it being challenging because it was a new concept, it helped me a lot. Oh, thank you for getting me to 2,400 hearts. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. Yay! Cheers again. Thank you. So then what? Oh, see, 12 minutes just finished. You see how long 12 minutes was? You see how long 12 minutes was? That was 12 minutes. 12 minutes. So understand that if you take a particular task and hunker down on it for 12 minutes, it will blow your mind. Let me tell you something about blowing mind. I blew my own mind. Last night, I was on my Canva platform and I kept saying, oh, before I got on it last night, I kept saying to myself, oh, I need to finish my presentation. I need to finish my presentation. I need to finish my presentation. Last night, I went on Canva and was looking through what I already had created in terms of my presentation. Do you know that my presentation was already done? And you know why it was already done? Because I used the 190 method. And I'm going to step into that right now. I used the 190 method. As a matter of fact, no, I can't step into the 190 yet because I'm still talking about the connection to the 12-week year. So when I learned about the 12-week year, that was challenging for me to adapt. But I started to implement it because I started to understand the concept of taking a plan or plans that you have for 12 months and shrinking it down into 12 weeks. I'm going to say it again. The concept of taking 12 months and shrinking it down into 12 weeks. That concept right there was difficult for me. Up until that time, I had spent 45 years in the 12-week spectrum. The 12 months. See, now I talk so much about 12 weeks, I can't even say 12 months. I can't even say 12. I can't even say 12 months anymore. So, what I did was, I did it in increments. And doing it in increments helped me a lot. It helped me in 2022 when I became a citizen, because I filed for my citizenship in 21. I got the appointment in 22 and I became a full-fledged citizen May of 2022. By that time, my mom had passed away. And it was a very emotional time for me because it was one of those things that she would have been very proud of. That year of 2022, I graduated with my bachelor's degree. And I graduated with my bachelor's. And so I became a citizen and graduated with my bachelor's. And I was promoted later that year as well. So there was a lot of things that happened in that year consecutively back to back. And in 2023, February of 2023, I went home to Antigua to facilitate a project and I had a grand time. It was beautiful. That whole year leading up to 2023 was absolutely amazing. And just a sidebar, I had to go back to that year, that 2022 year, because a lot of elevation happened that year. A lot of things were completed in that year because I think I was struggling with feeling like I would do and never finish. And that proved to me that I could not only do, but I could multiple do and multiple finish. You understand? That year was a phenomenal year for me. And I wanted more of those. I wanted more of that. So coming into 2023, everything slowed down. I mean, I did do a lot with disability. But no year has stood out like 2022. No year has stood out like 2022, but I'm grateful for it because I'm still the beneficiary of those goals, of those things, and I'm absolutely happy about it. So, okay, so now I'm going back now to the 12-week year. I implemented the 12-week year heavy in 2023. Heavy, when I tell you heavy, in 2023. And that's where I was able to set up my business. I was able to get it off the ground. And unfortunately, I had lost the state job by then. Yeah, I'd lost the state job. I'd lost my state job, and that was crushing for me. Let me tell you, that was crushing for me because I had so much plans with that state job. And so listen, when I tell you it sent me into depression, it sent me into depression. So much so that my brother was like, sis, what's happening? He pulled a chair up. Now that was before we lived here. We lived in the bigger house. I had a chair in my bedroom, and he pulled the chair up, turned it around, and he said, hello. What's going on? I was in deep depression because my money was right. I had savings. I had learned how to budget. I was following a couple of people who had their budgeting system set up, and I loved that budget system. That was another thing I learned, the budget system. Loved it. The envelope system and how to pay a credit card. And I learned it all. I was using Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace platform. So every week I knew what my pay was gonna be, and every week I would put my money into the chart, and I was paying off my debt. Look, I was on. Oh, I would go home to Antigua and I would have my pockets right. So when that rug and that stability was pulled from under me, it tanked me deep. It caused me to tank horribly. I tell you, almost a whole year now. So that's why I can't remember much about 2023, because that was the year that I was in a heavy emotional depression because of the job loss. I felt like totally devastated. I tell you, listen, look. I was like, oh, what? Look, ooh. Just talking about it, just, ooh. But anyway, moving on. So that year I didn't do much in terms of productivity and anything great. I had savings, so I was able to, like I said, organize my business. I used iPostal One. I used a couple of other platforms and other companies to set my business up. So when I joined the TikTok shop, when I joined TikTok and I decided I was going to put my business on TikTok, I have a TikTok shop. I had everything already set up because, they asked me for all of my my business information. So I had all of that already set up. And so starting my TikTok shop in 2023 was a great idea. And I had a lot of hiccups trying to connect them because there was a lot of things I didn't have, but I had the shop set up and I was still on TikTok. And a lot of things apparently happened automatically for some reason, somehow. I'm not sure what transpired and so forth. So I'm not really sure what happened there. But I got connected. I went back into my TikTok shop through an email that I got from them. And there's where I said, you know what, let me sync my shop. And the day I decided to sync my shop was last year, 2024. But in 2023 is where I came across the 190 rule. Now I'm gonna jump into that next one. Excuse me. The 190 rule. The 190 is a simple concept. One task, 90 minutes, 0 distractions. 190 is an hour and 30 minutes. So on my iPad, see this right here? 130. That's an hour and 30 minutes. And all the other numbers you see is because you can change that 90 to whatever you want it to be. You can change it to whatever you want it to be. But the method is 190. So if you change the 90 to 30, it's one task, 30 minutes, 0 distractions, meaning no phone, no kids, no husband, no co-worker, no watch, no social media, no ding, no phone calls, no nothing, no distractions. When I implemented that, again, it was a challenge for my sanguine brain, because my sanguine brain was like, oh, but I gotta do this and I gotta do that. So again, every new step was a challenge for me. Speaking of challenge, let's see. Challenge methods. That's an idea. Right. I'm gonna do a challenge using these methods. Because right now, in my 14 days, this 14 days, I have been using the 190, and I am actually in my 12-week year. So I'm on week number 7 of the 12 weeks. I literally live and have my whole being in these things. And for the 12-week year, every single day you have to do something. Every single day. Every single day you have to do something going in the direction of your task. So in 2023, I kind of, because the depression I was experiencing was in 2022, right? Because I lost the job the November of 21. Is it 21? Or was it 22? Because my mom passed in April. It was the November, because my mom died the April. I got promoted. I got citizenship the May. I got promoted the August. So it was 21, not 22. And I lost my job the November. Right? So see, all of that happened at the same time. And the depression took me in 2022. And then in 2023, after the conversation with my brother, I had to kind of just pull myself together and pull myself up and say, sis, no, we're not doing this. Come on now, let's go. Let's go. And I pulled myself up. I prayed. I had to come out of that and get into some deep prayer. I had to do some serious prayer and fasting. And I brought myself, by the grace and power of God, to this level. Right? So now, 2023, I've now put all of these methods into practice. And so coming into 2024, I'm now currently very seasoned in it. And again, I've learned these tasks. And what has happened? The money is gone. And I'm sitting here going, what is the block? Because as you can see, as I've been talking to you, there has been steps, there has been methods, there has been growth. You see the growth, you see the productivity, you see the humanness of my experience. Because I've talked about it. As a matter of fact, I plan to download these videos and upload them to YouTube, to my YouTube channel. Right? You see. I've talked about it in the beginning as to how the growth just progressed. But when I get in a place where I can accomplish something, it's lost. It's lost. Because what? To maintain that, there has to be a consistent flow of income. Even with me trying to sell my digital products, I'm like, am I using the wrong platforms? No, I'm not using the wrong platforms. Last night, I went on my Jotforms and realized that I had my digital guide. This journal, I have this journal on, let me not say that either because I might, yeah. Anyway, the journal is in other places. I didn't even realize I did it. So I've been using my method so well that now I didn't even realize that I had certain things already done that I needed to use. I have my guide in a lot of places and I just have not published them. I haven't published them. I haven't promoted them. I haven't been doing anything. And I'm sitting here going, well, this is the reason why you ain't making no money, sis. This is why you're not making. You go, you decide you're going to do something, you do it. Now finish it. So it's not that I'm capping. It's not, when I say cap, I'm talking about the word cap, not lie. Because nowadays young people use the word cap to mean lie. No cap. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the cap as a ceiling. You know, like can't break through. But listen. I'm a chick right now. I am a strong believer. In the tougher the challenge, the greater the victory. Because coming through this challenge has shown me that the cap is not in my productivity. The cap is in my energy when it comes to the money. My belief system is apparently not where it needs to be when it comes to money. My drive when it comes to money is not where it needs to be. It doesn't match currently. Let me tell you what's happening. Currently, I'm on a low money frequency. And so what's happening is the money frequency is what's being pushed when I get excited, when I get happy about the execution and the production of my product. Mm-hmm. This might be a little different from my regular conversation, but thank you for the follow. Our beliefs, what we believe subconsciously, what we believe in the back of our minds, what we believe in our subconscious, as our paradigms, will always become elevated when we get excited or happy about something. I'm not going to go into too much details about that, but do the research. Our beliefs stem from experiences and habits and things that we were taught, things that we were told, things that we heard, our own personal experiences that come through all five of our senses. And they become a part of our character and a part of our DNA. And so we say to ourselves, that's just who I am. But I'm here to tell you that having a money ceiling is not who I am. I'm sorry. So now what I have done over the years is gone into my money blocks and look and see what have I been taught. And so now I'm pushing past all these belief systems. So the more I push past is the more they come at me. So what I do is I say, okay, I see this. It frustrates me. As you can see, it frustrates me. But I sit and I take the time to look at it and look at what's causing me to cap. What's causing me to cap? It's me. Because I never knew that how I saw myself and my self-image was connected to my money. It is. And I have to now keep pushing so that I can earn the income. Because when I went back last night and realized that my journal was in other places, I said, well, I was doing the work. I was producing the product. I was creating the product. I was setting up myself because at the time, I had the income to pay for the platform. So I used the platform at the time and paid for it and started what I needed to start. That's what I did with my business as well. But when it comes to what I believe about the income I could make, about selling it, I have doubt. I do have doubt. And so unpacking the doubt is like, well, why would you think that that's not enough? Why would you think that you can't afford that? And I ask myself these questions because I'm very, very introspective. And I knew that this 14 days was going to challenge me. I knew it because all my other challenges that I've done back in 2021 and 2022 and 2023 and even 2019, they challenged me to be a different person. I suffered greatly with financial anxiety back in 2019 to the point where I used to have a lot of chest palpitations, heart palpitations, and I used to have a pain. And I'm just like, what? Pain? Anxiety used to grip me. And I vowed October, November of 2019 that I will no longer let anxiety hold me. Financial anxiety, look, financial anxiety used to cripple me. What? Man, it used to cripple me. And I vowed that time that I refused to let money cripple me anymore. I said, Lord, you know where the money is. And you know what my needs are. You know what my needs are. Why should I sit here and be stressing and harassing myself over and over and over again? You know where the money is. Show me the money, like Jerry Maguire. So thank you for the follow. Yeah, so I thank you for the follow. Thank you. If it's one thing I could tell you about you guys, boy, you guys are faithful to following me. I get a lot of followers from my lives, and that's how my numbers climb. But I just want to say thank you. So anyway, while I'm, giving God the glory, I had to realize I had to see myself and see my earnings according to how He sees me. So anyway, I went on to develop my 12-week year plan. And I will tell you this. Because of how I did it, because my 12-week year starts on my birthday, I don't start my 12-week year on on January anymore. And in 2022, I decided to no longer have my new year start in January either. My new year starts on my birthday. So that's why the goal is set to my next birthday. These journals are set from my birthday, from birthday to birthday. Right? They're set from birthday to birthday. And because I set them like that, it makes it easier for me to hit a goal. So when I hit a goal, I can celebrate. I can celebrate greatly, and I absolutely appreciate that. So I've implemented all of these steps. So I've implemented the change on my birthday, change of the new year to my birthday. So it's a birthday new year. And I love it. So the implementation of the 12-week year, the 190-0 method, the 412s, and the 10-10-10 have literally allowed me to be able to be where I am right now. And my only capping challenge right now that I have is breaking through the ceiling of breaking that financial ceiling. And that's why I decided to start with $1,000. Because if I can break the ceiling, because what's happening here, the ceiling is not being broken because I am the one pushing my own earnings, if you understand what I'm saying. When I said to the Lord back in 2021, right before my mom passed, Lord, I need a job because my mom is about to pass. We knew she was on her way out. He provided that job through a staffing agency. And I was confident because it was someone providing income. The challenge I am having, and the reason why I am having this capping challenge, is because the income is reliant on me. I have to show up for Louise. I have to show up for me. I have to be able to be the one to stand there and go, okay, you got to produce this product. You got to do this for you. And that's where the issue comes. Because I am not showing up for me. I am dependent on an employer. But it's not that I am dependent and I have to get rid of that mindset. It's not that I'm dependent on an employer. I have to shift it. Because I'm not dependent on an employer. I'm not reliant on the employer. But having an employer allows me to have the income to be able to stabilize the vision. Because if I have to pay for Canva, having an employer would allow me the opportunity to make the monthly payments for Canva so that I can continue to produce products to put on my shop and put in my store. Right? So I'm not against employers. I love employers. I've had some of the best employers since I've been working for persons. But understand what I'm saying. The issue is because I have to show up for me now. It's interesting. See how talk bring talk. I have to show up for me. I have to show up for me. I have to, prove to me. This journal is almost done. I was using this journal and it's almost done. Week number 7, it's week number 7 and day number 6. Tomorrow is day number 7. And then Wednesday, I start week 8. Right? Now, the weeks are going week into one another because I started on my birthday, right? And starting on my birthday doesn't begin at the beginning of the month. Whew. Wow. Yeah. This is different. This live was definitely very different. Wow, this live was definitely very different. Very, very different. Yeah. So this journal is almost done. I started this I started this journal last December. I finished. Now I came over last December, week 4. So this was my last 12-week year. So the week 12 ended. Week 12. I didn't write anything for week 12. Week 12 ended in February. Week 12 ended February Tuesday, February 4th of this year. Right? Week 12 ended that time. So I am now in a new 12-week year that started that second week in February. Yeah, so my new week started February the 5th, Wednesday, February 5th. And that's when this journal started as well. So where planner, where I do my journals, I set my planner to the said method. So they follow each other in sequence. So if I have a challenge in that week, I would talk about it, right? And as you can see, it talks about I changed it from life to 12 weeks. So this 12 weeks, by the end of this 12 weeks, I should have 10,000 followers. And by the end of this 12 weeks, my plans to be a digital nomad should be accomplished. That's the goal of the 12 weeks. I have made made myself a priority, and my relationship with God a priority, and my spirituality a priority, and my femininity a priority. And now I have to work on Me showing up for me being able to show up for myself and showing up for where I want to go and the things I want to do, right? And I started using this journal. I call it my little black book, you know, so that I could, you know, have the things that I want to have in my life and have the experiences that I need to have in my life. I'm seriously going to consider having these in retail stores, to be honest. I'm really going to consider having them in retail stores because they're not they're um they're great books and they're blank. A lot of people would love a blank book, you know, a blank journal. And so I'm going to I'm going to push for that. But yeah, it's almost 11 o'clock. I came on here at 9 o'clock. So I've literally been on for 2 hours. I've literally been on for 2 hours. And it's actually time for me to go so that I can go and get something to eat. Now I go to a food bank in my county and get a lot of free food. There's a lot of food banks all over Georgia, and I I need to go and visit some other ones that give toiletries and cleaning goods and cleaning items. Those are the things I need. Yep. Oh yeah. So, I just want to say thank you to all of my followers who came on and stayed on with me. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for staying. And I hope to see you all tomorrow. Yeah, I hope to see you all tomorrow. I'll be on to tomorrow again. So yeah, this has been fun. I did enjoy this particular live. Wow, this particular live just really kind of just opened my eyes. And I'm loving it. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm loving this. I'm saying to myself, I could literally grow my platforms. I could literally grow my platforms just by teaching stuff that I have learned. You know, people will say to me, well, you know, you could put it in a book. I'm like, yeah, I could put it in a book. I can put it in a book. But, you know, I like I said, I have digital products that I could use and put this information in the book. And it would be personal things. So the decluttering guide is not that the decluttering guide can't be sold. It's just that if I'm going to sell the decluttering guide, I would have to promote it more and talk about the impact excuse me, of minimalism, because I became a minimalist after I decided to declutter. Because it wasn't just a matter of decluttering, it was a matter of me being able to understand my personality, because I didn't learn about my personality and being a sanguine really until late this year. Until this year I actually put two and two together and realized that I'm a sanguine. And so a lot of the challenges I had from the past are now making sense. Like this constant all over the place, and me thinking that, and having the shiny object syndrome, and me thinking it was menopause, and me thinking it was hormonally related. And I'm just like, it wasn't hormones. It was the fact that my personality type is as a sanguine is a shiny object syndrome type of thing. And what I said to myself was, okay, so how do I use this to my benefit? And I learned something called overlay. Because my personality is of such that I'm easily distracted to the next thing, even right in the moment, I realized that overlaying works. So for example, in my 190, and this is where I came up with the overlay and realized overlay works. It's within the 190. I had a project I'm doing, the event I'm working on for Easter weekend for April 19th and the 20th. I did a 190 because I wanted to plan the event. I wanted to plan create the flyer and all of that. So what happened, I set my timer just like I did for you guys with the 12 minutes to show you how long 12 minutes is. I did the 130. And while I was in there, I started on the flyer, but I finished the flyer. And I was like, okay. So I said to myself, okay, I'm finished here. What else do I need to do? Then I realized that I needed to call the pastor. I needed to call the secretary. I needed to send out a couple of emails to the speakers. And I was like, oh yeah, I could do that. So I sent the text message to the pastor. I sent the email out, and I went on to something else, which was to reach out to my my organization that I'm a part of, reach out to them and reach out to a couple of other people. While I did that and reached out to them, the pastor and the secretary for the church reached back out to me. So I dealt with them and sent them and had a conversation with them. And then after that, the people who I initially set out to, they reached back out to me. And so the overlay worked well because it was one task, but multiple things. So my mind didn't have time to be distracted with shiny object syndrome and gone over to something that had nothing to do with my planning for my disability day or disability weekend. And I'm like, oh, listen, when I tell you, that transformed how I thought and how I worked with my shiny object syndrome. I was literally in awe as to how well it worked and how well I was able to accomplish as much as I accomplished. Because like I told you last night, I went on Canva thinking that my presentation wasn't finished, and it's completed. It's completed, fully completed and ready to go. Ready to go. I was like, wow, girl, what? Amazing. Listen, totally and absolutely amazing. I was blown away by what I was able to accomplish. And I said, thank you, Lord. These methods work. I just have to be able to understand that I need to show up for myself and believe more in my ability and not just an employer. Not just an employer. All right, well, it's officially 11 o'clock. It's officially 2 hours. So now I'm going to go get something to eat and move along with the rest of my day. So thank you all for coming on. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for the follows. Thank you all for the daily heart me's. Thank you for the likes, Doc. Thank you. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Because look, I'm going to do this right up until the 14 days is over. I might have to continue going live though, even after the 14 days. I'm going to decide, how often I'm gonna go, because what I've come to realize is I can go every day. I literally can be on here every day. But once I start to work, that's going to change. I mean, I could go live for my lunch break. I could go live on my lunch break. Trust me, I could go live on my lunch break. Ah, yes. So, yes, ma'am, absolutely. So, all right. So, you guys take care, and we will definitely be in touch. All right. Bye bye.